5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations, 2 on the South Shore, 2 on the North Shore, 1 in Baton Rouge. I'm looking for the highest point on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. The highest point on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Give me the answer to that, and I've got 50 big bucks for you, good at the Woodhouse Day Spa. How about the highest point in Louisiana? Highest natural point in Louisiana. Give me the answer to that. 50 big bucks can be yours at the Woodhouse. Yeah, it is day 6 of the jailbreak. Oh, by the way, 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. Day 6, jailbreak. 5 inmates still on the run. Corey Boyd, the latest to be captured. Antoine Massey, Lenton Van Buren, Jermaine Donald, Leo Tate, Derek Groves, still at large. Those 5 still at large. Huge rewards now for turning them in. I mean, you're going to have one of these cats literally with friends and family having like dinner, and a cousin's going to go excuse themselves to go to the bathroom and call 911 and give the address and turn in the person and give their name. And then they're going to act all innocent and act like nothing's going on and as sad as everybody else as the police come and take that person away. And then in a week, folks are going to be wondering why Brenda has a new watch. How did she get that new car? Why is she always wearing nice clothing now? Where did Brenda get money? Brenda says she went with $50 to Harrah's or Caesars and won a few grand. It sounds like Brenda gave a tip to Crime Stoppers, maybe. It's these other 5 idiots are going to be caught. Boy, Susan Hudson, the sheriff, listening to the program? What were we saying yesterday? At the least, don't run for re-election. And ideally resign. Kind of close. Sheriff Hudson temporarily, she says, temporarily suspends her reelection campaign. Hopefully it never comes out of the suspension phase. Just total failure, should not run again. It's painfully obvious. This was beyond the straw that broke the camel's back. Not suited to do the job. You've been at it for years. There's been no improvement. The exact opposite. And then the part about setting up friends and family with 6-figure jobs, it's obnoxious. It's obnoxious over and over and over and over again, multiple times. The overtime that wasn't deserved, the hotel rooms in the quarter that weren't used, just shooting by the, winging it, shooting by the seat of her pants, just ready, fire, aim. Don't have time for that. Don't have time for learning on the fly. So no, Sheriff Susan Hudson temporarily suspends her re-election campaign. Just should call it a day on that. Ideally resign. Courtney Harris, Corvante Batiste, couple of women accused of assisting the escaped inmates after the escape. We told you this was going to happen. It's all falling into place. Not a good thing, just part of the process. When you have 10 people escape a jail, some employees, deputies within the sheriff's department getting indicted, arrested, and some outsiders. Help on the inside, help on the outside. That's the only way these idiots are out there still. DA Jason Williams, AG Liz Murrell visiting the jail today. The Hudson bill passes the House. It'll pass the Senate. The governor will sign it. I'll fill you in on that. Lots of other stuff. Petition in the French Quarter signed. They want to keep IV waste. Is that going to gain any traction? Trump with the South African president at the White House today was a trip. I just stumbled upon that and watched it. Trump, I've figured it out. He is Tony Soprano. He's Tony Soprano.
He's so funny.
That's pretty accurate. Hey, Katie's in Mid-City. Boy, as New Orleans as it gets, that's pretty accurate. I love when Scott Craig shouts out what they got. 14 speckled trout. We got 11 soft-shell crab, 15 flounder fillets. Iberville, corner Talamacas, a Mid-City mainstay. Katie's tonight for dinner.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city.
The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. The true voice of New Orleans, telling it like it is.
I'm very important.
Here's the mouth of the South, Corey Johnson.
Kind of a big deal.
Humane May going on now. Go to the website, humanela.org. Let's save some animals. Please donate. Trying to raise $10,000 in the month of May. humanela.org. Yeah, I guess I was on Twitter or something today and landed on the Fox coverage of the White House press conference with President Trump and South African president. It was just amazing watching it and watching President Trump. He's just, he's one of a kind, that's for sure. and loves being the president, loves being in power, loves being in control, loves that the buck stops with him, loves being the most powerful human being on the planet, loves controlling the narrative, loves controlling the press conference, loves controlling the room, loves controlling the conversation. No, he is Tony Soprano from The Sopranos without the mob connection and the killings. Rules don't apply. Common courtesy doesn't apply. He can go from sort of gracious to furious in a second. He's a relentless competitor. When he loses, he attacks you personally. He seems to be right lately about a lot of things. He seems to be wrong about a lot of things. He's in charge. It's his show, 100%. He controls it all. The executive, obviously, and the legislative branch of government. And he has a conservative-leaning Supreme Court with a 6-3 majority. Repeats himself over and over and over again. There are white farmers in South Africa who are being slaughtered, their lands being expropriated. Lots of white crosses. It's a Sunday. Family members going to pay their respects to those. There were so many white farmers slaughtered, like over north of 1,000. The white crosses show it. The families are there. Why? He must have said that 4 times, those lines, just repeating them over and over again. If you media folks were real media, you'd know about this story. The South African president is like, I have no clue. And then, I mean, what was interesting about the South African president, just the whole dynamic of this press conference was amazing. Just how it went from, hey, we want your rare earth metals to, you got to fix your country. It's broken. It's crazy. And the South African president, they do have some extremists that are, you would say, like, kind of Winnie Mandela more than Nelson Mandela, and Winnie Mandela at her worst. Just, let's get even, oust white people, that type of thing. So there are political groups saying that. And they had one guy who was like, I don't know if it was a breach of freedom of speech or not, but Trump's first reaction, typical Trump, like, that guy should be in jail. And then he even said, but if he was in the United States, and then he kind of wavered in how he finished the thought because his brain went, oh, wow, in the United States, that would just be political freedom and free speech. And yeah, we wouldn't put them in jail. But there are some extremists that are anti-white, want to expropriate all the white people's farms, kick them out of the country. And the president was saying, we're against that. And here's my Secretary of Agriculture talking about farms, who is white and is in the opposing party to me. But I brought him along because we together have to make sure these extreme lunatics don't gain any power. So it was quite a dynamic in there, and Trump kept pounding the 1,000+ white farmers, and then the thing that the South African president asked, where is it located? And Trump didn't give an answer. So they would know, the United States, if they had these satellite images or spying or whatever, got these photos, they'd know exactly where it was. And Trump would know exactly where it was. So that made you question things a little bit. But the white opposing party guy who's part of the administration now as head of agriculture, he acknowledged that there's a lot of crime on both sides, but wasn't like yelling that there's some, specific white farmer, problem of them getting killed or losing their land in South Africa. But Trump did make a point, and if I don't know if this is not true, I would think it's true. He said that there are thousands of white farmers from South Africa seeking asylum in the United States right now, like thousands. So I don't know if it's dozens or hundreds or thousands, or if any of it's true or not. But if that's true, that would make sense that there's a problem in South Africa, that all of a sudden, the last few months, a lot of white South African farmers have been trying to come to the United States. I believe in South Africa, the farms, like 70+%, I think it's like 3 out of 4 are still controlled by white people in South Africa. So there's a thought of, it's like when we went into Iraq, we got rid of everybody, Ba'ath Party, every member of Saddam Hussein's, group. Should have kept some of them because they know how to operate the controls. They know how things worked. You got to keep some of them. The same thing kind of applies here. South Africa gets rid of all white farmers. The system would probably collapse. It's not like black farmers aren't capable. It's don't know the system, don't know the ins and outs, don't know how it works. You got to keep some of the old guard in there while you're transitioning over. Anyway, South Africa is a very interesting country. And today's press conference, I would normally say, it's not worth watching, but I would watch this. Trump shows this video of the extreme political groups in South Africa saying, get rid of the white farmers, get them out the country, even kill the white farmers. And it's like a 5-minute long video. And the South African president's kind of watching a little and then not. And, and then it ends and Trump reopens the press conference and goes to somebody from like NBC and they ask about the plane that Qatar is giving to the United States. And Trump just has a meltdown. He's like, typical NBC, loser media, calls the guy up a name. You're a loser, you idiot. Just name calling this guy. I just show you 5 minutes of these white farmers and these crosses and family members visiting the grave sites and these white farmers losing their land and they're trying to come into the country. You're asking about the damn plane, just kind of freaked out. And in a way it was legitimate. Like the president of the United States, Trump, Biden, whoever, you don't like him or not, shows this video for 5 minutes sitting up there with the South African president about this possible white farmer slaughter going on in South Africa. And the first question asked by a media member is the plane in Qatar. So, that they're giving to the United States. And people are freaking out about this. The law is real easy. It's real simple. I think it was Condoleezza Rice who went to Libya and Gaddafi had a crush on Condoleezza Rice. That's what like CIA says. Like literally, they're spying on him. He's got a crush on Condoleezza Rice.
Power couple right there.
Oh, yeah. So Gaddafi gives Condoleezza Rice during their visit like an $800,000 ruby and diamond necklace as a gift. And as a you're not supposed to turn down the gift. So Condoleezza Rice accepts the gift. She gets back to the United States. She turns the gift over to the feds and they put it in a vault with all these other gifts that have been given to elected officials in the federal government. I mean, it could be, a Secretary of State visiting a country and they give them something personal, but it's got value and they can't keep it. And the government puts it in some vault, and there are hundreds, if not thousands, of items worth millions. It could be north of $1 billion. Who knows? Condoleezza Rice's necklace was. Google that for me, Latinx. Well, I think it's cool. Well, you're a fast typer. You're just Condoleezza Rice's diamond necklace gift from Libya's Gaddafi. Gaddafi with a G. Muammar. I think it was like, how much was? I think it's like $800,000, something like that.
Let's see, locket and a diamond ring from Gaddafi in 2008.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, looking for a price on that. It just says she was the first U.S. secretary to visit Libya.
Go back to the thing and say how much. Yeah, in the Google search, just put how much. Money sign. No, she got that necklace. She accepted that necklace. She thanked Gaddafi for the necklace, and she turned the necklace in when she landed back in the United States from Libya.
Yeah, it says, including the necklace, Libya's Gaddafi gave Condoleezza Rice $212,000 in gifts.
$212,000.
Yes.
That's what it was?
Yes.
All right, I thought it was like $800,000. All right, so $200,000.
Oh, no, you're right. That's right. I was looking at the wrong thing. It says more than $750,000
for the necklace.
Yes, more than $750,000 just for the for the jewelry.
It was like $800,000 for this necklace. And she accepted it. You don't say no. That's rude.
Yeah.
He's in love with her. He has a crush on her.
Especially on his home turf.
But it's sitting in a vault somewhere. It's not. Barbara Bush ain't wearing it. Hillary Clinton doesn't have it on. Melania Trump's not wearing. Can't borrow it for the evening. It's in a vault somewhere with a bunch of other gifts like that. Really nice gifts. Should have that all like in a museum, like a museum display it. Anyway, Corey Johnson with you. On a wide open Wednesday, 766-9480. Audubon Gutters. Might get some rain today, might get some rain tomorrow. I got Audubon Gutters to install new gutters on my house back in October. They installed them with the Leaf Guard system. I'll never have to worry about my gutters again. New Orleans' own Audubon Gutters for nearly 35 years. AudubonGutters.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love. More. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance. Total maintenance keeps you. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson.
I bet his smells like sandalwood.
Corey Johnson.
He's absolutely magnificent.
Got to keep this up till 6. Wow. I've got some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates for you. Well, at least you can win one. 50 big bucks, 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. The highest point of elevation on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Highest natural point of elevation on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Give me the answer to that. I've got 50 big bucks for you. Good at the Woodhouse, 766-9480. Highest natural point in Louisiana, 766-9480. You got the answer? I got 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse. I believe there are 3 tunnels in all of Louisiana, 3 tunnels. Name those 3 tunnels, and I've got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations, 766-9480. 766-9480. Hey, don't even bother calling if you just Googled. Use the internet device, Bing, DuckDuckGo, Yahoo, some search engine, and got the answer to one of our questions. Don't even bother calling. That's cheating. We'll know you're cheating, and I will not award you a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate. 766-9480. That guy hung up, huh?
Yeah, he hung up.
Right away. He must have been using the internet device.
Yep.
I saw that phone ring. I was like, someone's using Google.
Caught red-handed.
Maybe not, but I thought maybe they are, because you can easily Google 3 tunnels in Louisiana. It's going to pull them up, especially with this AI gimmick now.
Yeah, I think I drove past one on the way here.
And let's see. Highest point in Louisiana is easy. I learned that at LSU. I almost think that's sort of pseudo, common knowledge that you're supposed to know.
If you went to LSU, definitely.
Kind of, I think.
Definitely. If you went to LSU, you definitely know the answer.
Yeah, but not LSU BR. Be another LSU where that highest point in Louisiana is.
Ah, there you go.
Not the oldest hills in the Western Hemisphere, arguably.
All useful hints.
Some
right
say
here.
the Indian Mounds there on LSU's campus, the oldest man-made structures in the Western Hemisphere, arguably. Pretty interesting. And then highest point on the Gulf Coast of Mississippi, I think, would be easy via the internet device. But we don't like that. I don't want you reading the wiki page on the air.
Apologies if I misunderstood, but Man Mendo on the line wanted to answer the trivia question.
Mando. Is that the name?
Go ahead.
Are you going
The
with
highest point in Louisiana is Driscoll Mountain.
what's your name?
Len Menville.
Oh, Len. Wait, Len Menville?
Menville.
How do I know that name, Len?
I don't know. I'm a sugarcane farmer in Iberia Parish.
You're a sugarcane farmer in Iberia Parish. What's that accent?
Generat, Cajun.
Wow. Now, let's see. Sugarcane farmer. So I guess you planted like a month or 2 ago or something, and now
Yeah, we're going to plant in August. We just finished cultivating the cane.
Well, you finished cultivating the cane a few months ago, didn't you?
This week, in fact.
This week, you harvest all the cane. Wow.
No, we just finished cultivating. We start harvesting in October.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, October, November. Yeah. Okay. Wow. How many acres do you handle, Len?
3,800.
Wow, 3,800. And roughly, how many pounds of sugar are created from 3,800 acres of cane?
100,000 tons times 220 sugar.
What's the formula? Is it off of an acre? What's the formula based off of? An acre of cane?
Just how much? I usually haul 100,000 tons of cane and make 220 pounds of sugar on a ton of cane.
220 pounds of sugar off of 2,000 pounds of sugar cane.
1 ton of sugar cane.
Yeah, 2,000 pounds, a ton.
Yep.
So 2,000 pounds of cut sugar cane. After it's processed, you get
22,000 pounds of sugar last year.
22,000 pounds of sugar.
No, 22 million.
All right, I'm getting all confused on the numbers, Len. But let's just say this: 1 ton of cut cane produces 220 pounds of sugar.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, so about 10% of that weight is sugar. Unbelievable. And you're in Iberia Parish by Bayou Teche?
Yes.
Nice, man. I got a lot of Syrian Lebanese relatives in that part of the world.
Uh-huh.
Lots of good Middle Eastern food over there, Len.
Yeah, some good restaurants. They just opened a new Zeus's restaurant in New Iberia.
Wow. Nice. Nice. Len, your answer, highest point in Louisiana. How do you know that answer?
I just remember that from long ago. I guess as a kid in school, learned it.
And what was your answer?
Driscoll Mountain.
Yeah, Mount Driscoll, which is what, up by Shreveport?
Yeah.
We're going to get Mario Brothers Latinx to give us a height on that. I think it's 576 feet, if I remember from LSU, something like that, 576, which One Shell Square is almost 700 feet, the building downtown in New Orleans, and that's taller than Mount Driscoll. I think Mount Driscoll's 576 feet. Latinx is going to get it for us, a.k.a. Mario Brothers. Oh, boy, I'm going to have to start just doing the voice thing. He's slow as can be.
535 feet.
535?
Yes.
All right, I said 576. I knew it was something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Look, if y'all get on the new, if you get on the new Chat GPT, that's like Google on steroids.
Len, exactly. Takes a Cajun boy to straighten us out over here.
Coming for all the producers' jobs.
Hey, Len, will you hang on?
Sure.
Hey, there's a Woodhouse Day spot in Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana. So, what about maybe an hour from New Iberia? Maybe an hour and 10 minutes?
I'll let my wife go. That'd be a good gift for her.
That's a great gift for her. Glad to do it for you, Len. Keep harvesting that cane, brother.
Yep. Thank you.
Hey, will you hang on?
Sure.
Don't go anywhere. That's Len from Iberia Parish, sugarcane farmer. You learn something every day. A ton of cane produces 220 pounds of sugar. A ton's 2,000 pounds. So you get about 10%, a little better than 10%. What's that? It's 11%, I think. That's exactly 11%. 220 pounds of sugar out of a ton, out of 2,000 pounds of cane. That's a great story when I was at LSU. You can get his info if you want.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Shouldn't make him wait. Shouldn't make Len wait. You'll have to hear the story another day. Now, when I was at LSU on Nicholson Drive in October, we're seeing all these, cane on the side of the road, stalks of sugar cane, and the cane trucks coming through. So me and some buddies one day were either finished with class or skipping class or whatever it was. I'm sure somebody in that group of ours was skipping class. We said, let's go watch this whole process. Because I told them, I was like, man, I got relatives I just mentioned in New Iberia and Lafayette. And they're Lebanese and Syrian, but they're also, full of Cajun flavor. So they speak like they're Cajun. They know Cajun French. They have no Cajun blood. My dad's side has Cajun blood. My mom's side has no Cajun blood. They just grew up in Cajun country. They're like Edwin Edwards. No Cajun blood in his system, yet absorbed the Cajun culture, the Cajun accent. Same thing with my Syrian relatives. So we go down there and, catfishing and Bayou Teche with a worm on the line and chewing on sugar cane to get the juice out. My Honduran friends in New Orleans chew on the sugar cane and swallow the husks, some of them. I'm spitting it out. They're like, this guy's not a man. He's spitting out the husk, just enjoying the sugar. So no, I'm like, guys, this stuff's great to chew on. It's sweet. It's like candy almost. And it's natural. It's the sugar from the sugar cane. So we're like, let's go watch this process and maybe we'll get lucky and get some cane. Kind of two-part story. So we go down there and we watch them cut the cane. They load it into the trucks. We follow the trucks through LSU's campus, across the Mississippi River Bridge into Port Allen, into an old plantation that is still a sugar mill to this day. Old equipment, like 100 years old, with modern generators and motors turning the old equipment. And then since it's me and, 3 of my white friends, this is the definition of white privilege, we walked right into the facility. And not a single person stopped us, black or white workers in there. They just assumed right away, that's Mr. Freddie's kids. That's what they assumed. That's the owner's kids. Because no one would walk in so brazenly and just walk right in, walk up on top of the machinery that you could fall in and die, get crushed, holding a little pipe handle. We walked through the whole process to the end where there was this stainless steel chute and the brown raw turbinado piling up on a big concrete slab and getting loaded into trucks and the trucks taking it away. So we watched the whole process from harvest to the turbinado at the end. That was a little white privilege. And then we went back to the cane field and some grad student was like, you want cane to chew on that's real sugary? I got a great hybrid for you. And he gave us some cane that was so sweet and sugary and easy to chew on and all of that. Some hybrid he made specifically for chewing that was sweet and sugary. What an experience. Well, the old LSU days. Corey Johnson with you on a wide open Wednesday. Talking sugar cane. You never know what we're going to discuss.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Total maintenance, keep you TM-JC.com, no cool spots. TM-JC.com, no cool spots.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Not an FM disc jockey, not a former politician, Corey Johnson.
You're not the DJ. You're a raconteur. You're a storyteller. You're a griot.
It's true. I've decided President Donald Trump is Tony Soprano without the mafia connection and the murders. I was watching today's press conference with the South African president. He is just a trip, man. He is all over the place. It's his show. You can either accept it or not. I mean, you can live in denial. You can be mad for the next 3.5 years. I'm not saying celebrate it like the Trump MAGA folks if you're not that. And if you are that, celebrate it. But I was watching and, all this is beyond my control. I mean, there's some things that Donald Trump does. I'm like surprised. They seem to be working. And there's some things Donald Trump does where I'm like, it's just crazy. But today, just this press conference was a trip because it's the South African president, Donald Trump. They're talking about rare earth minerals and working out economic deals and strengthening each country and all of this. And then Trump just all of a sudden, obviously planned, goes into the white farmers being murdered in South Africa and shows like this video. And right afterwards, an NBC reporter, the first question after the video, and Trump's, for about 10 minutes, it's about white farmers getting killed. The first question is about the plane from Qatar, the $400 million jet, which Trump's not going to keep that. It's against the law. He can't just keep it. Now, he may try at the end of his presidency, but folks like worrying about it, like accepting the gift and keeping the jet. I mean, the United States is going to take that jet. It'll go into the Air Force. It'll probably never be used as Air Force One. President Donald Trump will probably never, ever fly on that plane. It maybe in a few years, like if the government's going to have to go in there and literally make sure there's no spying equipment or anything like that on the plane. It's a private, country's plane. It's a $400 million plane just tweaked out. Could have all kind of equipment in there for spying, listening, whatever. Who knows? Probably not. The Air Force will figure it out, but who knows if President Trump will fly on that plane or not. But just folks thinking like he's going to keep it as a gift, a $400 million gift. I don't know. Did Condoleezza Rice keep the $800,000 necklace from Gaddafi? No. So I think it'll just be like that. Trump will leave office in 4 years and that plane will be used for some reason, for something, hopefully. Or I don't know, the United States sells. I have no idea. But folks getting their panties in a wad about that's kind of humorous. By the way, tomorrow, mañana, we'll discuss Tony Soprano, a.k.a. Donald Trump, the president, sans the mafia connection and the murders. Yeah, I know some of you hyper-liberals out there. He's guilty of murder. Wow, we do that with every president in the United States if you want to do that kind of gimmick. Tomorrow, another edition of Hillier and Hennigan, right-leaning Quinn Hillier, left-leaning Ellis Hennigan. That's tomorrow in the 5 o'clock power hour on a Thursday. You don't want to miss that. We'll discuss a lot with Donald Trump. The peace kind of thing. Let's try to stop all these wars. I mean, Some of it appears to be happening. Pakistan and India, we're right on the brink of really going at it. We'll see what happens with Ukraine and Russia and Israel and Hamas. And yet he mentioned something today about the Congo and Rwanda and sending one of his guys there and working out that conflict. Major economic investments. I mean, trillions of dollars. The border's under control. It's like 7,000 people crossed last month. A few years ago, it was a few 100,000 in a month. The deportation's a little scary. You can't round up 10 people and be happy because 9 of them are violent, rapists, murdering criminals. And one's innocent. And you're like, that happens, collateral damage. No, it doesn't in the United States. It's called due process. If you're confident you got the criminals, they go in front of a judge and they get sent to Centco, El Salvador, wherever you want to send them. But due process is necessary because, I don't know, the gay barber guy down in El Salvador, I doubt he's alive still. And I don't think he's guilty. And I think of all the folks rounded up and all of them not receiving due process in front of a judge, there has to be a few mistakes made. And we're the United States of America. We don't make those mistakes. We try 110% to not make those mistakes. If they do happen, it's a mistake, not a crazy roundup, ready, fire, aim, and send a bunch of folks to El Salvador and you're content because, hell, 96, 97, 98% are violent criminals. Yeah, but what about the ones that aren't? That's what's great about America. Our goal is to not have the ones that aren't. So now we'll discuss all of that, the good, the bad, and the ugly of Donald Trump about 4 months into office. Another edition of Hillier and Hennigan tomorrow. I love getting those guys on. Right-leaning Quinn, left-leaning Ellis. Google them if you want. You don't even have to Google them. Go to their websites. You can find out what they're all about. QuinnHillier.com. Quinn with one N. HILLYER. QuinnHillier.com. And Ellis Hennigan is at Hennigan.com. HENICAN. Hennigan.com. No, I love getting these guys on. They're ridiculously knowledgeable. They are diametrically opposed in opinion about 90% of the time. Yet they're never yelling at each other. They don't call anybody names. I learn something every single day. Like on today's program, 2,000 pounds of raw sugar cane, freshly cut, a ton, 2,000 pounds, produces 220 pounds of sugar, of turbinado, that brown stuff, unprocessed sugar, 220 pounds from 2,000 pounds of cane. I'd use that old Fat Albert line, but Bill Cosby's a sick individual who deserves to be in jail next to Woody Allen. If you're not careful, you might learn something. Ah, Blue Boy, that old Fat Albert line. That was a good cartoon, but it's like Woody Allen and Michael Jackson. They're out of my wheelhouse now. No longer watching Fat Albert. If I had a kid, he wouldn't watch Fat Albert. He watched Johnny Quest. He watched the Jetsons. He watched the Flintstones. But no great Fat Albert cartoon. What a great cartoon. But Bill Cosby's a sick individual. Wide Open Wednesday, 5 o'clock powwow next.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TF-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TF-AC.com, your cool spots.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love. More. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint. Supply.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Here we go, 5 o'clock power hour on a wide open Wednesday. I love Wide Open Wednesday. The rules are simple. You're the show producer. Whatever you want to discuss. It's not like I don't have a show sheet chock full of topics like Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. But we give you a little extra carte blanche on Wide Open Wednesday to do your thing. But first, number 9. Thank you, Mr. Drew Brees. Got a good one lined up for you in this 5 o'clock powwow. A lot to catch up on. Before we get into it, some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates available. Land over in New Iberia, south of Lafayette. What, about 20 miles outside of Lafayette? 18 miles outside of Lafayette? Glenn, sugarcane farmer, filling us in on a little info about sugarcane production. He picked up 50 big bucks. Mount Driscoll in North Louisiana, highest natural point in the state. Mount Driscoll, 535 feet. One shell square is like 696, like about 150, 160 feet taller than Mount Driscoll. One shell square, downtown New Orleans, tallest building in the Gulf South. 766-9480 is the phone number. Speaking of Gulf South, highest natural point on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Highest natural point on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Basically Metro New Orleans, huh? 766-9480. Give me the answer to that. 50 big bucks for you. Good at the Woodhouse. 3 tunnels in all of Louisiana, as far as I can tell. 3 tunnels in all of Louisiana. Name those 3 tunnels. You got the answer. 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse. Hey, simple rules. No intranet device. No Google. No search engines. No DuckDuckGo, Bing, Yahoo. None of that. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Mario Bro, a.k.a. Latinx at the controls. We're politically correct on this program. Latinx is the appropriate thing to call a Latino because they could be female, and a Latina is female. A Latino is male. To say Latino, you're kind of discriminating against the female. Mankind, I think that includes women. Pretty sure.
Yeah, not to speak for all Latinos, but I think I'd rather you call me a slur than call me that.
Yes, I swear. Latinx is pathetic. That's like the hyper woke liberal lunacy where they've gone out of their minds. It's not empathy. It's insanity.
Yeah, you sound stupid.
You sound stupid. First off, maybe check with some Latinos on that, white people, before you come up with that. Hey, white liberal lunatics, after you take, Abraham Lincoln's name off of school buildings because his dad owned a slave in Kentucky. I mean, sounds like the number one mover stopping slavery worldwide. The number one mover. Hey, let's defund the police. Latinx. Mark. Just ridiculous. Where's Mark calling from, Latinx? Nueva Orleans. Mark, what's up, bro?
Yeah, this is Chef Mark. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Mark, are you Latinx?
No, but I'm trying to answer the highest point on the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
All right, highest point on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. What do you think?
Diamond Head.
Diamond Head, Mississippi. You're talking about like the community right there off I-10 where the golf courses are?
Yes.
Diamond Head, highest point in Mississippi. You are correct.
Yeah, you're right.
Ding, ding, ding. What do we have for her, Johnny?
Got 50 big bucks to the Woodhouse for you, Mark. You are correct. Diamond Head, I think like 100, 110 feet maybe at the clubhouse, something like that.
Yes, it is.
Nice.
And actually, on hole 12 on the Pine, that's the highest point on the course. On the course.
Hole 12 on the Pine. I'm trying to think. What is that? The par 4 uphill?
That's the little short par 4. And when you get up to the top,
to the green,
is at a green, you can see the Bay St. Louis.
No, it's crazy. You can see the bay. It's so weird. The bay is down there. No,
that's higher than the clubhouse.
That's higher than the clubhouse. 13's green on the Pine, you said? 12. Nice. Excellent work, Chef Mark.
Yeah.
What you cooking up tonight? Any goodies?
Suzanne. That's me.
Uh-oh. Hey, Chef Mark, watching on TV.
I made some potato salad, and Suzanne made some good stuff anyway.
Nice. Excellent, Chef Mark. Hang on, all right?
All right.
Chef Mark scooping up 50 big bucks to the Woodhouse. He is correct. Diamond Head, Tallest Point. I thought it was the Clubhouse, Latinx.
Yeah, I thought so too. That's what's up, though. He was listening at work and heard. And
but it's true, though. I've been on 12's green, uphill par 4. I knew where he was going because you can see the bay from the green, which blows me away, like over the tree line, and there's Bay St. Louis. So I guess that's the high point. I think about 110 feet. Maybe the Clubhouse is a little over 100.
Yeah, it says 100 feet, 30 meters.
What's that does?
Oh, the height.
Oh, you're looking up Diamond Head
as
highest point in Mississippi?
Mhm.
You cheated and used the intranet device?
Yes, I was right at this time.
There's old Latinx, politically correct with the X. Jeesh. Yeah. Check with the liberal white people next time. Or I should say, check with the Latinos next time, liberal white people. These woke white people. We're going to make it Latinx to take care of the ladies. It's covered under Latino. Jeesh. Later, after we defund the police. Those are brilliant maneuvers. That's smart. That's smart stuff there. Jeesh. What are some of the, I love the low percentage stuff. Some prisoner who wants a sex change. It's got to be at least one of them, maybe one.
We know there's at least one.
But it's a major concern.
Yeah.
It's crazy. 766-9480. Still have one $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate available. I think there are 3 tunnels in all of Louisiana. 3 tunnels. Give me the answer, and I've got 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse. Yeah. The liberals, like with not wanting to seem to control, the border. Border's under control now. Crime is way down, fentanyl down, like 7,000 crossings compared to a few 100,000. No, extremist views about race, like Lincoln's name off of schools, Latinx. Think boys shouldn't compete with girls in sports. Children should have their sex reassigned. All these things are just insane, crazy, dangerous. These are people outthinking themselves. Like it is, like I said, it's not empathy. It's going beyond that. It's craziness. It's lunacy. I'm not saying we should follow Europe on everything. We're the United States of America. We're the world leader. But we should check in with Europe on things that they've done already, like, sex reassigned surgery. Talk to adult, heterosexuals, homosexuals, bisexual folks. A lot of people will tell you that when they were kids, when they were growing up, when they're 6, 8, 10, 12, 15, confused about their sexuality. I mean, I guess I'm fortunate, heterosexual person. I always knew it, never was confused about my sexuality. But a lot of folks are. And, normal is male, female. That's like the norm. And I'm not saying it's anything else is not right. I'm just saying male, female is the norm. So I just think it's sort of crazy when we've seen in Europe, and they've abandoned this, you don't mess with a child with hormones while they're growing or sex change operation, craziness like that. They're children. And like I've said, too many adults have looked back on that time, especially folks that, I was just gay. I didn't know what I was. But I ended up being gay. I'm glad I didn't do any hormones or change my sex or any of that. So no, all that's crazy, especially for children. When you're an adult, Caitlyn Jenner, more power to you. You want to go for that? Green light. You're an adult. Who am I to tell Bruce Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner what to do? I'm not. Be happy. Do whatever you want. If you feel you're a woman, go for that. But children, no, that's that woke insanity. You know, boys should compete with girls in sports. Get Lincoln's name off the school. Latinx. No interest in controlling immigration. No, that scares off the general public, not just conservative Republicans, regular Democrats, libertarians, independents. That hyper woke leftist lunacy scares the crap out of people. Wide Open Wednesday, Corey Johnson with you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
Roll call.
Kenner, Metairie, Harahan, River Ridge, Algiers, Gretna, Harvey, Terrytown, West Wego. We got you covered.
Don't forget Old Metry, where Chef Mark just called in and won 50 big bucks to the Woodhouse. Don't forget New Iberia, where Len, the sugarcane guy, scooped up 50 big bucks to the Woodhouse. Hey, Latinx, a.k.a. Mario Brothers, we've got some elevation experts checking out the program between Len and Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Len got highest point in Louisiana, Mount Driscoll, and Mark got highest point in Mississippi. Mark is in Old Metairie, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he knew Diamond Head. He knew the Gulf Coast.
New stuff.
He must be like me, cracking the golf ball out there when he mentioned 12's green. I knew where he was going with that because you can see the bay.
Yes.
Yeah, Diamond Head's got a couple of solid golf courses, which folks may not know this, like English Turn. It's pseudo-private. It's public, private, public, whatever. It is a country club like English Turn. There are full-time members of the club. But I'm not a member at Diamond Head or English Turn, and I play both courses. Call the pro shop and book a tee time. There might be some restrictions where club members at both places get, priority. But I don't know if you like golf. Those are two good places to play, I would say. We're kind of golf deficient in Metro New Orleans. We don't have enough high quality courses. The TPC is fantastic. It's lush. It's plush. It's expensive. The New Orleans Metairie Country Club, they're private, high-end country clubs. They don't let everybody in. Exclusive. They don't let outside play. Those are lush, plush courses. Outside of that, it's like City Park South. It's English Turn. It's I play Lakewood. Poano on the greens is finally dying off with the heat. Latour down off 308 down by Raceland. That's pretty good course, about 45 minutes, 50 minutes away. Diamond Head, about 50 minutes away. 2 courses there. The Chef Mark had mentioned the Pine. There's the Cardinal, the old Redbird course. And it's amazing. The casino golf courses in Mississippi are off the charts. But usually you have to stay at the casino hotel or some gimmick like that. But let's see. I mean, Beau Rivage, I guess it's Fallen Oak. Harrah's Casino, I think, is Grand Bear. You've got a Davis Love course down in Goche. You've got the Preserve. You've got, it's just a lot of good course. Fallen Oaks is Fazio course. Grand Bear's a Nicholas course. That's a kind of a silver lining of the casino industry in southern Mississippi for someone like me. I don't gamble, but it brings in some restaurants that are pretty good. And then they all are connected to some pretty damn good golf courses. Hey, speaking of pretty damn good, Art and Eyes on Magazine. If you wear prescription glasses like me, prescription glasses are going to run you hundreds of dollars. Before you go spend that money at Lakeside Mall or some, chain store from around the country, go check out Art and Eyes on Magazine. Google them. You know what I love about Art and Eyes? In today's world, 2025, name brands you've never heard of. But when you touch, feel, put on these frames, you're going to be like, wow, I can tell. Super high quality. Made in Japan, made in Germany, other parts of Europe, made in the United States, small batches. Google Luxottica. It is a mafia-run, Chinese-produced, eyewear company that owns about 85% of the name brands. There's a lot of high-end stuff, like ladies love Louis Vuitton and Chanel and Ferragamo and all this. If they have eyewear, Luxottica owns it, and it's made in China, and it has nothing to do with those high-end name brands. I used to love Revo, made in Italy, Persol, made in Italy, Ray-Ban, made in the United States, all owned by Luxottica, all crap, all Chinese-made garbage. They do stuff like make the parts in China, then assemble them in Italy, and it'll say made in Italy, and it's not. It's garbage. No, I've been wearing glasses like 40 years. I got my prescription filled about 3 years ago. I was like, I'm going to go get some new frames. And then I literally went online, Google, I put high-end eyewear shop in New Orleans. Art and Eyes popped up. I was never heard of it. They'd been there 10 years. They're on Magazine between Napoleon and Louisiana, the Riverside of Magazine, about a block from Lillet Restaurant on the Riverside, across the street from Lillet, about a block down. Art and Eyes. You need a great pair of sunglasses to protect those eyes with summer rolling in? Art and Eyes on Magazine. No, the finest eyewear in the world there. It's incredible. All price points, too. Frames from like $200 to frames that are run you like $1,500 just for the frames. But every price point. Art and Eyes on Magazine. Great stuff. Day 6 of the jailbreak. 5 inmates still on the run. Corey Boyd, 19, the latest captured. Sheriff Susan Hudson, kind of doing the right thing, temporarily suspends her re-election campaign. Yesterday I said at the very least, she should not be running again. Hey, I've decided not to run again. I've screwed up too many things. I'm not running again. That just seems painfully obvious. But at best, Susan Hudson would resign immediately. Would resign immediately. But it's a good start, I would say, temporarily suspending a re-election campaign. Hopefully it never comes out of suspension and she just fades away, goes off to pasture. Cortine Harris, 32. Cornvante Baptiste, 38. Accused of assisting some of the escaped inmates after their escape. They were arrested. No, they're going to go to jail. Now, I mean, this was obvious. It wasn't like, God, Corey, you nailed it. You knew it. Everyone knew. Inside help and outside help. Inside help and outside help. No, the great thing about outside help, it's funny. People are funny. Money makes people funny. I can imagine one of these guys going to like his family and maybe some friends' cousins are there and everybody loves the guy and they're eating dinner and everybody's happy the escaped guy's safe for the time being. And then one little cousin has to go to the bathroom all of a sudden and calls 911 in there and gives the address. And a week later, they're like, why does Brenda have all this nice stuff and money all of a sudden? Because she turned in the criminal, the family member. That's how it's going to go down. Family members will be turning in and getting the reward. Money talks. DA Jason Williams, Attorney General Liz Murrill visiting the jail today. They believe, and are right, more than one person responsible, not just the one guy. I'm going to get shanked. Who is that? Sterling Williams, 33 years old. That's one thing that sucks about this job, Mario Brothers Latinx. I'm going to remember the name Sterling Williams now for a while. Just erase that out of my brain. No, that guy, 33-year-old, worried about getting shanked, helped the inmates escape. He ain't the only one. No. The morons that went to, monitor break while the escape was going down. There's a lot of people involved. When they were in the main area, I mean, motion detectors not going off. But when they're main area for a while, I don't know how long, but it wasn't 3 minutes. It was 10, 20, 30 minutes, causing problems, causing noise. No one saying anything on the wrong floor. First floor instead of second, third, fourth floor. I can go on and on and on about this. It's just crazy. Anyway, 5 at large, Antone Massett, Lenton Van Buren, Jermaine Donald, Leo Tate, and Derek Groves, all still at large. And law enforcement, very confident they're going to catch these other 5. I'm very confident they're going to catch these other 5. And I think sooner than later, they are on this. Like white on rice, they are on this. This is professionally run. They are proactively, aggressively seeking out these individuals. No, and people are going to turn them in and make phone calls, and the other 5 are going to be caught sooner than later. I'm still going with just strictly an opinion, an assumption based off of nothing. I still think like the last straggler is going to be found like in Houston or Atlanta, trying to flee. Getting caught on the lam. The Hudson bill passed the House today, 95-0. I'm calling it a Hudson bill. House Bill 479. Jailers have to let people know when a jailbreak happens immediately. And the people would be the police, the victims with the criminals, the victims of the crime. That's important. Hey, the idiot who raped or murdered you or whatever, he got out. The police, the victims of the crime, the media, and the general public all have to be notified immediately of a jailbreak. A petition signed in the French Quarter, residents, business owners, over 400 signatures. I don't know if this is going to gain any traction. I mean, this is LaToya, the Destroyer Cantrell. This is Junket Cantrell. But 400 plus signatures saying, hey, keep IV waste through the contract through December. Do the right thing. Rebid the whole thing in the fall for January. This fall, August, September, October, rebid the 8-year deal then. And Troy Henry or IV Waste or Ramelli or River Parish or Richards or Metro, anyone can go for it. ProServe, whatever. That's the right thing to do. That's obvious. But the mayor, hell-bent on giving Troy Henry that 8-year, $73 million deal instead of rebidding it like she should. It's an enhanced level of clean now. Troy Henry won it fair and square, but then didn't have his you-know-what together. City had no choice but to go in another direction. Coming right back.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes a magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
You know, if it's a weekday afternoon in New Orleans, it's got to be Corey Johnson.
You know, moving like a gator down Bourbon Street.
The vibe of the Crescent City, Corey Johnson.
You put Paris in the swamp, and that's Nolans in a nutshell, baby.
Yeah, you right. Wide open Wednesday edition of the program. You're the show producer. 766-9480, whatever you'd like to discuss. 766-9480. I still have one $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate to give away. Gave away a couple today. Some elevation questions. Highest point in Louisiana. Len, a sugarcane farmer in New Iberia. He got it right. Mount Driscoll up in North Louisiana. 535 feet. Highest point on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Chef Mark in Old Metairie nailed it. Diamond Head. He got real specific. Number 12's green at Diamond Head. He's right on the money. 3 tunnels in all of Louisiana, as far as I can tell. 3 tunnels in all of Louisiana. Name those 3 tunnels. I'll give you 50 big bucks to one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations if you can come up with that answer, naming the 3 tunnels. 766-9480. 766-9480. Every day, this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kennebra on the car corner of Williams Boulevard and I-10, right on the corner, right on the price. If you're thinking of picking up like an F-150 or an Explorer, why would you go anywhere else but Lamarck Ford? Have you checked out the Lincoln line of SUVs, these black label Lincoln SUVs, as plush and as nice as you'll find anywhere? They're on the pad. They're in the showroom at Lamarck Lincoln in Kennebra. You need a commercial SUV, van, or truck? Lamarck Crescent City Ford. Yeah, the legendary Ford truck dealership for 80 years on Jefferson Highway under the Lamarck umbrella. Every day, this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex and Lamarck Crescent City Ford in Elmwood. 766-9480. 766-9480. Tomorrow, another edition of Hillier and Hennigan. Right-leaning Quinn Hillier, left-leaning Ellis Hennigan. We'll break down the Trumpster and more. Lots of international news to discuss with those guys. I love these guys because they're national pundits. They're from here. They're from New Orleans. Ellis went to Jesuit, then to Columbia, New York. Quinn went to Newman, and then Georgetown in D.C. They're both really smart. Quinn is conservative. Ellis is liberal. They're diametrically opposed. They disagree on 90% of stuff we'll talk about, but they never yell at each other. They're calm. They're smart. They give really insightful answers. I always learn something. I'm just a moderator. I just let these guys go. 5 o'clock power hour. Mañana, another edition of Hillier and Hennigan. Good stuff with those guys. I guess I was on Twitter and I saw Fox was covering the Trump South African president press conference at the White House. So I checked it out, and it is entertaining as hell. I mean, look, I'm a pretty serious person when it comes to politics. I want America to be great, and I don't like some of Trump's shenanigans. I didn't vote for Trump. I didn't vote for Harris either. I voted Green Party. I voted for Jill Stein. I was like, I got to live with myself the rest of my life. I can't, in good conscience, vote for Kamala Harris. And I can't vote for Donald Trump. And it really didn't matter in Louisiana. Who thought that Donald Trump wasn't going to get all the electoral votes in Louisiana? That was a given. Anyway, it's all beyond my control. I don't get my panties in a wad. Some things I'm not happy about. Some things I'm surprisingly happy about with Jeff Landry and Donald Trump. But Trump's press conferences at the White House are a trip. They are something to check out. I mean, if you're really hell-bent against Trump and you just despise the guy and just it's burning you up, you're not going to find any comic relief from a Trump press conference. But if you're like me and you try to go into it fairly and objectively and let's see where this guy goes. I did that with LaToya Cantrell, quickly realized she's going nowhere. I'm doing it with Jeff Landry right now, and so far so good with Jeff Landry. I mean, there's a lot of things I don't like, but there's a lot of things I do like. Now, I'm watching today Donald Trump, and I finally figured it out. I'm like, he is Tony Soprano. I was just watching some Sopranos reruns the other day on HBO. He's Tony Soprano without the mafia connection and without the murders. But he is, rules don't apply. Common courtesy doesn't apply. He can go from gracious to furious in a minute. He's a relentless competitor. When he loses, he attacks you personally. He's right about some things. He's wrong about some things. He's in charge. It's his show, and he loves it. He loves being the most powerful man in the world. He loves being the president of the United States. It's his deal, 100%. He controls it all. The executive branch, obviously, but really the legislative branch of government. And he's got a conservative-leaning Supreme Court with a 6-3 majority. Boy, he repeats himself over and over and over again. Loves to hear himself talk. Today it was to the South African president. It was hysterical. I mean, I was laughing, just shifting gears so quickly. 1 minute, it's about South Africa and building both economies. Both presidents are talking. The South African president was talking a lot. We're going to build our economies together. Help us with this, help us with that. Great partners. And then all of a sudden, Trump goes into this. White farmers being executed and their land being stolen and mass graves, thousands of white crosses and family members mourning the dead and all of this. And then the South African president says we have a crime problem on both sides. And there's not some plot by blacks to get rid of the white farmers. And then the black president of South Africa introduces his agriculture chief, who's white and is from the opposing party. Trump goes on and say, wait, let me play this video, and plays a video of these extreme South African political folks, extreme, that want to get rid of all the white people, take over the white people's farms, black country, all that. And the black president got with the opposition party and got the white guy in charge of agriculture. And they work together because they both are in agreement that the extremists are like, I said earlier in the show, like Winnie Mandela at her worst. Winnie Mandela. And the president and his counterpart are like Nelson Mandela. It's like here in New Orleans, It's like Israel and Palestinians. Palestinians aren't leaving Israel and Gaza. That's where they've been, just like the Jews. They're staying. Black and white New Orleans, no black or white New Orleans are leaving New Orleans. It's not going to happen. It's the same thing in this situation. White people aren't leaving South Africa. Black people aren't leaving South Africa. Now, I think the black to white population, it's like 90% black, maybe 10% white. Why don't you give me a little demo on that, Latinx, aka Mario Brothers? Racial demographic breakdown of South Africa. I think it's like 85, 90% black, 10% white.
It says as of 22, 73% white.
No. South Africa?
Yeah.
73% white?
Oh, no, that's the white population declining from 11 to 7.3. My bad.
11 to 7.3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was saying 10%. It's less than that. Even.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But, Like 75% of the farmers in South Africa are white. So you can't just oust them all and take over and, it would all collapse. It's not like black people can't farm. It's that there's a system in place and they know how the system works. It's just like when we went into Iraq. We got rid of all of Saddam Hussein's Ba'athist people, all that. You needed to keep some of them to see how things work there. That was a mistake. No, Nelson Mandela got it. He fully understood it, which is amazing. Talk about Dr. Martin Luther King, like the right man for the right time, smart, right temperament, bigger than the situation. That's Nelson Mandela. I mean, it could have just been like, we're in power now. The whites are ousted. Instead, it's like, no, we need the whites. And had a lot of white people as administration and didn't just oust them all. No, it's just the dynamic of that press conference, from the South African president to the opposition party guy that's head of agriculture for him, to the video that Trump played with the extremists in South Africa that want to oust the white people, and Trump just beating that thousands of dead white farmers getting killed, the land getting taken. He just kept repeating that over and over. Now, if what Trump says is true, that thousands of white farmers from South Africa are seeking asylum in the United States, and he says a bunch are trying to seek asylum in Australia. If that's true, there has to be something going on to drive them out. But, I hate to say it, it's Donald Trump, it's Trump talk. We don't know if that's true or not. But if it is, we'll find out soon enough. And if it is, it's good that Donald Trump's trying to get justice and make sure that doesn't happen. And the South African president, his agriculture guy, seem to not think it's some problem like Trump thinks it is. But we'll see. It was a crazy press conference. After playing that video and discussing the white farmers killed and all that for like 10 or 15 minutes. First question he takes, this NBC reporter asks about the $400 million plane that the United States is accepting from Qatar, and Trump just went off on it at him. NBC, you're an idiot, fake news. Why? We're talking about this, and you bring up the plane, just freaked out. And in a way, he was right. It's like 10, 12 minutes on this subject, and the NBC guy goes to a totally different subject, and the South African president's there. Crazy.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
The official afternoon talk show of the city of New Orleans. It's Corey Johnson on the Neutral Ground.
You can say anything you please about me, but don't say anything bad about Blue Boy.
Down, Blue Boy. Good buddy. Very, very true. Don't say anything bad about Blue Boy. Why would you want to? He's so lovable and friendly. Such a good boy. If you go to the Humane LA, or I should say the Humane Society of Louisiana website at humanela.org, you'll see me and Blue Boy laying on the sofa at the top of the page. Click on that and donate to our fundraiser. We're trying to raise $10,000 in the month of May for the Humane Society of Louisiana. Basically, we're trying to raise $10,000 to save cats and dogs and kittens and puppies. It's that simple. Jeff Dorson and his crew for over 35 years have saved thousands of animals, but they can't do it without our donations. That's why every May, I just try to do a little part. I got this microphone and this camera. What can I do that's a positive, good thing for the community? Get $10,000 collected in the month of May from the listening and viewing audience and save animals. HumaneLA.org. Please donate. We're about $7,000 shy of our goal. We've got about, after today, 5 shows next week, 2 more, 7 shows after today. A week from Saturday's May 31st, end of the month. So 7 shows left. We got to raise like $1,000 a day. We're way behind pacing. Please donate. Just, it's like an elephant. We take a bite at a time. And we're going to eventually hit the $10,000 goal. That means donate right now, $5, $10, $20. HumaneLA.org. Please donate right now, HumaneLA.org. Let's save some animals. It's that simple. 83 degrees, cloudy. Some rain possibility. I mean, a few little drizzles. Not enough rain for you to turn on your windshield wipers if your windshield was dirty. The weekend looks really nice, like 73 to 89, no rain. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Looks really nice. Day 6, jailbreak. 5 inmates still on the run. Law enforcement very confident they're going to catch the remaining 5. 5 down, 5 to go. Sheriff Susan Hudson temporarily suspends her re-election campaign. One of the good things she's finally done. I said yesterday, either say you're not running again at the very least. Ideally, resign immediately. But suspending the reelection campaign hopefully doesn't ever unsuspend it, because Susan Hudson is not capable of being sheriff of a major metropolitan area. I mean, I've often said this about Junket Cantrell. She couldn't manage a Walgreens, much less a city. I mean, think about that. Seriously. If you owned a Walgreens and making money was key, had to be run well, efficiently, would you want LaToya Cantrell managing your Walgreens? I mean, it's not no, it's of course not. Definitely not. No shot. Incapable of doing it. Not going to put in the time, not going to get it done. No, she runs the city. No, Susan Hudson, it's, learning on the fly. We can't afford that. She's been in there for years, and the greatest blunder yet. And then just right out the gate, just how she thinks and how she acts, just the crap's hitting the fan, blaming other people, blaming the locks, blaming, hey, there's an election year, the timing's questionable. Were my opponents involved in this? That's what she was insinuating. Finally, on day 5, I'm responsible. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's all on me. Sheriff Susan Hudson temporarily suspends her re-election campaign. Let's get the temporary out of there. Cortine Harris, Corn Van Tay Baptiste, a couple of women accused of assisting the escaped inmates after the escape. DA Jason Williams, AG Liz Murrell visiting the jail today. Both believe, and they're right, more than one person involved, of course, on the inside and the outside. We've already got 1 arrested on the inside. There'll be more. And we've got 2 arrested on the outside. There'll be more. Hudson bill, I'm calling it, House Bill 479, passed the House 95 zip. It'll blow through the Senate. The governor will sign it. It basically tells Louisiana jailers the obvious. If an escape happens, you immediately have to notify the public. You have to notify the police. You have to notify the victims. You have to notify the media. You have to notify the general public. That was tacked on House Bill 479. Hey, tomorrow, another edition of Hillier and Hennigan. Right-leaning Quinn Hillier, left-leaning Ellis Hennigan. We'll break down a lot of national political stuff, including the Trumpster and more. Yeah, Trump with the South African president today. Worth watching that. I watched about 30 minutes of that press conference. I was laughing, just crazy stuff. I don't know if this is going to move the needle or not, but a petition in the French Quarter has been signed by 400 plus residents and business owners. That's like north of 10% of the French Quarter's population. They're signing the petition to keep Ivy Waste as the trash collector through December. Just stick with the contract and then rebid it in the fall, like I've been saying, and anyone can win it with the enhanced cleaning that Ivy Waste has provided. But the mayor hell-bent on giving Henry Consulting this contract, 8 years, $73 million. No, you have to wonder if there's a quid pro quo and the mayor's expecting some kind of gig after she's mayor with Henry Consulting, directly or indirectly. Now, I'm going to get Troy Henry on soon to talk about the trash contract and that. That's overdue. Hey, maybe you're overdue for Lebanon's Cafe. They're open till 9:30. Go get some lamb chops tonight, some shish kebab with Middle Eastern sides. Fresh, large portions, authentic, priced right. Right by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe. You'd like some lamb chops from Lebanon's Cafe? I bet you would, Blue Boy. What else? You like the tabbouleh? And why not add a football kibbe? Wow, Blue Boy. Any other, requests? The basmati rice is pretty good, too. Wow, Blue Boy, you're out of control. Shish kebab and lamb chops at Lebanon's Cafe. You're right about that, buddy. Hey, we'll see you tomorrow.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.